I'm Losing My Family by Casaiya. The alarm went off at 6 a.m. It shrill, bleeding, jerking me out of my sleep. I woke up and groggily groped the alarm clock, switching it off. I object to getting up when it's this dark, I murmured blearily to my husband. Through the darkness, I could see him sit up, step out of bed, and begin to briskly get dressed, ignoring me. He still wasn't talking to me then. It's been 3 days since we'd fallen out, and in that time he hadn't said a single word to me. I had no idea what I had done. All that had happened was that one morning he took the kids out to the park to play in the snow, had phoned me to say when he was going to drive back, and since his return, he hadn't spoken to me at all. He simply acted as if I didn't exist. No matter what I said or did, or how much I had apologized for whatever perceived wrong I'd committed, he remained silent. He went about his life, completely ignoring me. I felt as though I wasn't even there, for all the attention he paid me. I pulled the duvet back over my head, my heart beating too fast, an anxious knot in my stomach. A tear slid down my cheek. Screw him then. He could get the kids ready and take them to school himself on his way to work. If he's going to treat me like this, then he could damn well deal with the consequences. I must have dozed off as I awoke to the watery sunlight filtering in through the thin blinds. I squinted at the clock, 11:07. A thick cloud of depression settled over me like a heavy, suffocating blanket. I crawled out of my bed and made my way downstairs. The house was silent. Toys and clothes were scattered down the hall. My 2 daughters never quite managed to pick up after themselves. Rob and I were forever chasing them to tidy up their toys. A painful lump closed my throat. Rob and I had never had an argument like this before. Never. No matter what we argued about, he was always the peacemaker, the first to come and sort things out. I felt my eyes begin to burn. I felt so helpless. There seemed to be nothing I could do. I didn't even know what I had done to cause it in the first place. I headed to the downstairs bathroom and opened the medicine cabinet. A little orange bottle on the top shelf stood my anxiety medication. I hadn't touched it in years. Not since the girls had been small. I had been doing so well lately, and my strong relationship with Rob had really helped me forget my past and move on. Starting a family with him helped me have meaning again, and I vowed that our family would have been a happy one, that my children would never have to go through what I suffered. They were everything to me, and we had been happy. Until now. Now I was scared and nervous, and insecure all over again. I reached out and grasped the bottle, my chest tightening as I twisted off the cap and shoved 3 pills into my palm. I stared at them for a second before knocking them back and swallowing them down. Suddenly my phone rang, jerking me on my reverie. I sat at the kitchen table, my hands clasping around a cup of tea. I stared at the phone screen suspiciously. I wasn't feeling very sociable. "Laura," read the screen. I sighed and picked it up. "Hello?" I grumped. My best friend's voice came down the line. "Fran, how are you doing?" Her voice, normally loud and excitable, was soft and gentle. "Not great." My lip wobbled, and I sighed internally. I needed to get a grip. "Sorry I haven't phoned sooner. I was planning on dropping around later this evening," Laura burbled away. That would be good," I mumbled. "It would be nice to have some company. Rob still won't speak to me, and I don't even know what I've done wrong. I'm worried he might be having an affair or something. He's never acted this way before." My voice quavered. There was a long pause. "Fran, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say." Laura sounded tired and defeated. I glared at the table. Laura had been my best friend for 10 years, so much for being supportive and understanding. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll see you later," I said in a clipped voice. "No, wait, I'm sorry," she cried hastily. I hung up. After I finished my tea, I started to tidy. I had been wallowing in self-pity for so long that the house was becoming a tip. If I was to win Rob back and return to our happy family dynamic, I needed to pull my socks up. Operation Win Back the Husband was officially on. I spent the afternoon tidying and cleaning, and by 2, the house was spotless, a rare occurrence indeed. I surveyed my handiwork, feeling pleased with what I had accomplished. Now for dinner. I decided to go all out and cook a fancy lasagna with spiced apple crumble for pudding. Rob had always loved my cooking, but it was hard to find the time to cook properly with 2 young children. I chopped, stirred, and cooked, and finally, when everything was in the oven, I flopped down in a chair in the living room. It was heading up to 4:30, and Rob and the girls would be home soon. Sophie was at a friend's house this afternoon, and Valerie was at an after-school club until 5. This meant I had about 45 minutes until Rob and Valerie came back. I hauled myself out of the chair and jumped into the shower. Once I was clean, I put on some actual clothes. Rather than my ratty leggings and baggy hoodie I'd been slouching around in for the last few days. Some tight jeans and a soft red jumper that Rob had always liked on me made all the difference. I felt more confident in it, and more like my usual self. Finally, I brushed my hair and applied some makeup. I assessed myself in the full-length mirror. Much better. Operation Win Rob Back was looking more and more promising. I was just setting the table for dinner when I heard the door open. I stepped shyly into the hall. "How was work, honey?" I asked Rob. No response. He didn't even look at me. I watched his back retreat up the stairs in silence. Valerie lingered in the hall. I held out my arms to her. She stared at the floor and followed my silent husband up the stairs, head bowed. I sat at the dining table and dished up dinner. One for me, one for Rob, and one for Valerie. I set a plate at each of their places before setting the last one down in front of me. The smell of lasagna wafted enticingly up to me, but I couldn't have felt less hungry. I called Rob and Valerie down for dinner, but they hadn't answered. I'd even gone upstairs to tell them that dinner was ready in person, but they flatly ignored me. 2 fat tears slid down my face and plopped down onto my plate. I felt pure misery. The dinner that I had slaved over sat cooling on the plates, unwanted, like me. I was utterly alone. I buried my face in my hands and wept. At 7, the doorbell rang. I got up from my seat at the table, with the now cold dinner congealing, still waiting, and trudged to the front door. Laura stood on the doorstep, her arms outstretched. I stepped into them woodenly, and held her tightly. "Valerie won't talk to me now either. I'm losing them, Laura. I just know it," I cried into her shoulder, desperately. "I don't know what I've done. I've tried so hard to keep them happy. I can't lose them. They're all I have." "Fran," Laura's voice cracked, and I pulled away. Why was she crying? It was my world that was falling apart, not hers. Laura pulled a newspaper from her bag. "Fran, it's been 3 days now. You have to stop this. It isn't healthy," she pleaded. Fear and pain etched into her face. I stared at the headline of the paper in her hand. 3 dead in an icy road collision, it read. Further down, it showed a picture I myself had taken last Christmas. Rob smiling as he slung an arm around Sophie and Valerie's shoulders. "No," I whispered. The van had come out of nowhere. It hit the car on the way back from the park. The driver, a drunk teenager, had walked away without a scratch. I sank to my knees. "No!" I wailed. My vision flickered as my despair overwhelmed me.